Well, good evening, everybody. I'm your host, Andrew Burnett, and I'm excited to be with you here this evening on Magnify Ministries broadcast. Man, this evening I've got a special guest. He's a friend, but man, if there was any way that I could describe him, he loves gospel music. He lives, breathes, and moves gospel music. So I'm going to bring on my good buddy right now, Nicholas Wilke. Nick, how are you doing, buddy?
Andrew, I'm doing great. How are you, buddy?
I am doing great. Excited to have you on, man. You've been a friend for quite some time. Tell us a little bit about how you became familiar with this thing called gospel music.
Man, groups had come to my church years ago, like the Dove Brothers and groups like that. But back then, I loved more of the country style of music, and they did that kind of style back then. Whenever it was Jerry Martin and David Hester singing bass, and that was an incredible group. And but back then, I just loved the country sounding style of music. But it wasn't until the end of 2012 that I saw the Kingdom Heirs for the first time at Dollywood, and man, I fell in love with it that day, and I've been in love with it ever since.
You
So,
know, you are one of those kind of people that love that four-part quartet harmony. But but it's more about you love the lower end of the harmony better than any other part. So tell us a
yeah,
little bit about why you love bass singing so much.
I don't know how to explain it, man. Other than I was just, I'm just attracted to that low bottom end, because not everyone can do that, and it's just unbelievable to hear, and that's just the part that I've always been attracted to. I love me some bass singing.
So, who was the first bass singer that you heard that really attracted you to that sound that made you want more of it?
One of the first, if not the first, bass singer that I remember hearing at least was David Hester, which I mentioned a few minutes ago, who sang bass for the Dove Brothers years ago. He's one of the first, and I've loved David singing for years. So
Well, you got some folks already popping on. Diane Jones says, "Hello, Nicholas."
hello,
Notice that
Diane.
she says hello to you first before she says hello to the show host. I see how that is, Diane. I'll deal with you later. Rose Selby, good to see you as well. And she said she shared. Thank you for sharing. So,
Good
Nicholas,
to see you.
you've had an exciting couple of months here. You've started off a new job with the Life FM. Tell us a little bit about that, buddy.
In 2015, one day, my former pastor Phil Witt told my dad and I about this man that he's known for years by the name of Rodney Balcom. And one day, a few months later, I believe it was, he took my dad and I over to the radio station, the Life FM radio station, and I got to meet Rodney that day, and I recorded a few things on the radio for him, and we went out to eat that day, I believe, and Rodney and I have been dear friends ever since. So back in late August, I think it was, I went to the radio station to tour the brand new place that they're in, because they've moved locations about 2 minutes from where they were, and so they moved locations, and so I went over there to tour that new location, but had no idea that day that I would also get a job offer, and that job offer is they're calling me the Life FM correspondent. What I do is every Wednesday morning, about 8:45 or 8:50 a.m., I get on there and I share different facts about different gospel music artists, and so that's what I do on the radio. But yeah, that I went, I had no idea that I would get a job offer, but I did, and I'm so grateful for it.
So, who are some of the artists that you've covered so far?
Let's see. I have covered Jeff Chapman was my first one. I'm sure that's no surprise, but he's my he was my first one, and let's see. I have covered Bob Sellers. I did him. Nate Chapman, the lead singer for the Bible Tones. I did him. There's three there for you. I've done several more, but there's three there for you.
So when you say you've done a segment, did you actually do an interview with them, or are you featuring their new song, or what exactly are you doing?
No, what I do is I the artist that I'm going to be featuring, and I say, "Hey, I'm going to be doing this. I'm going to be featuring you on the radio. Give me, please, 3 or 4 different facts about yourself that you want me to share on the radio." So Rodney Volcom and I will get on the radio, and I will share those facts about each artist.
So
I do one artist a week.
let's ask you this question then. From the artists that you have featured, is there an interesting fact that you learned about one of the artists that you didn't know already?
One's not coming to me for some reason. I don't know why one's not coming to me, but to answer your question though, the simple answer is yes. There has been some stuff that I didn't know. Um, there's actually a few facts that I'm recalling that I just recorded today, but I can't share those yet because those episodes are not out yet. I just recorded a few episodes today with Rodney, but so the simple answer is yes. There are some facts that I didn't know.
Well, the answer to that question is then that they would have to turn into the Life FM to find out what that fact is.
That's true. Very true.
So, share with us the earliest influence that you can remember that made you desire to listen to more of Southern gospel music.
The Kingdom Heirs. I just saw them for the first time, and I fell in love with this music. And so they're the earliest influences to make me want to love gospel music. And so I've loved it ever since.
So let's talk about this thing called National Quartet Convention that you were just at in September. Share with us your favorite NQC memories so far.
I'll just say the one that happens every year, and that is the fact that I get to roam around and just talk to people. I'm a talker. I love people and always have. And so the biggest memory and everything that I have is just talking to everybody. I love talking to everybody. Now, don't get me wrong. I love some singing and I watch some singing, but mostly, man, I'm just out there just chatting with people, and I meet people and talk to my friends that I already know, and I love it. That's my favorite thing about NQC.
You don't just chat with people. Let's be honest here. Nicholas, when he strolls down the halls of NQC, he's got this thing out right here, and he's taking pictures with every Southern gospel female singer and bass singer that comes down the halls.
Yeah, I do other people too, Andrew. I do other people too. But yeah, well, I do a lot of pictures. That's for sure. Yep.
Now, just so people know, we were giving you a little bit of grief there, and he takes it lightly, so y'all should know that already. But so here's something that we can talk about. When you're not listening to Southern gospel music, you've already discussed that you're a fan of bass singers, but you're also a fan of crooners on the side. Tell us a little bit about those that you like to listen to.
Well, my favorite kind of music primarily is gospel music. That's my favorite kind of music. Always will be. I imagine, but whenever I'm not listening to gospel music, I'm either listening to traditional country music, the clean stuff. I'm not. I'm going to avoid everything dirty and everything. Not going to listen to that, but the clean stuff I absolutely love, like some George Jones and Merle Haggard and all that stuff. I love that stuff, and also the old crooners like Dean Martin and Bing Crosby, and there's another one that a lot of people have not heard of. It seems his name is Johnny Hartman. Johnny Hartman's my favorite crooner of all time. Whenever I heard him for the first time, of my favorites, if not my favorite, and he's my absolute favorite, I believe. And so, Johnny Hartman and Frank Sinatra, I love all those guys.
So, what made Johnny Hartman stick out more to you than any other?
His voice. I have a good friend that sent me a song of his. He recorded an album with a musician named John Coltrane, excuse me, John Coltrane, and it was a song called "My One and Only Love." It's an old love song. It's a good, clean song, and I heard that for the first time, and man, Johnny Hartman's just incredible, and he just, yeah, I just love his voice. I mean, it was amazing.
So, what are some of your favorite pastimes to do when not attending a concert or listening to music?
Talking to folks and listening to when I'm not at concerts, I like listening to music at the house, and talking to people and watching watching some videos and everything. I love another thing I love is shooting firearms as far as target shooting. I love going target shooting, and so I watch some shooting videos sometimes, and a few other things. So those are things I like to do as far as hobbies.
So, you have a special love for vintage gospel music. Let's talk about something that you like now, such as the Statement, J.D. Sumner and the Stamps, the Cathedrals, and others. Share
Yep.
with us how this love developed first.
I don't have a specific story where it just happened. Like I don't remember the group that I first listened to where I started loving this old stuff, but I just listened to it for several years. One thing I can tell you is that I've got several friends that love that old stuff. Give a few shout outs. One being a guy named Berman Porter. Berman Porter is one of my best friends in gospel music, bass singer, and he sang gospel music for years, but he loves that old stuff too. And so him and McCrae Dove of the Dove Brothers, uh, he's a big influence on me as far as loving the old stuff because he loves the old stuff as well. And so talking to people is one thing that got me into it, and just finding out stuff about it and just hearing the music. I just love it. It just I'm just drawn to that sound. So
So, what's one thing that you've discovered that you really love about vintage gospel music?
the rawness of it, the now don't get me wrong, I love some music out there today. There's some unbelievable groups out there today, and awesome groups in all eras. But what attracts me to that old stuff is just the rawness of it, and there was no tuning back then, or vocal stacks, or anything like that. It was just raw. It was just good, pure, raw singing, and I just love that. So,
You know, it ain't nothing better than four men and a piano, right?
oh, you got that right. You got that
So,
right. Yes, sir.
so if you had to pick, which I think I know what your answer is going to be, but if you had to pick who your favorite quartet is that you would listen to, who do you think that would be?
Of all time,
Yeah.
the Statesman.
Whoa, you blew my mind there. I just knew you was going to say the Cathedrals. Wow.
George Johnson's my favorite bass singer of all time, and the Cathedrals is top for sure. They're an incredible group, but my favorite group of all time is the Statesman. So
So let's have a little bit of fun here.
let's do it.
If you had your chance to put together a dream quartet
Mm.
of either past or living members, who would you put together?
See, that's hard because some people's voices fit with other singers. I'm gonna do it though. I'm gonna answer you, but that's just hard. But who's your favorite tenor singer that's currently singing the Mark Twain Quartet? Stephen Adair. He's my favorite tenor singer that sings with Mark Trumbull Quartet currently.
You
Anyway,
know, I wish I could say that he was my favorite, but he's still one that's never done an interview with me yet. I'm still waiting, Stephen. Still waiting.
I'm sure he will. Stephen, you throw me off. Thanks. I'm just kidding. No, I love Stephen. Great guy. Dream Quartet. I'm gonna say Rosie Roselle singing tenor, Jake Cass singing lead, Mark Trammell on baritone, and George Yount singing bass.
Whoa, now that's a lineup right there now.
Yeah, a Cathedral Statesman lineup kind of put together, kind of in two, kind of.
What would be the song that you would get them to start off with, a Cathedrals one or a Statesman one?
Oh. That's a hard question, man. I don't know why, but one question is listener or somebody doing a piano intro and they come out singing "Prayer is the Key to Heaven," but faith unlocks the door. That's them opening up with that, which was a Statesman song, obviously. So I just thought of that one. Glory, glory, clear the road. You're silly, Stephen. Hey, that's a good song though. I like Glory, glory, clear the road. That's a good song. And several bass singers have done that, and I love that one. But yeah, but
So yesterday I heard you got to hang out with a celebrity of sorts in the studio. You had a picture of him up there, and many people would know him from the Gaither homecoming videos. He's a
yeah.
comedian. Tell the folks a little bit about that.
Well, I'm going to put in a little plug too, Andrew, if that's okay. The Life FM just got done with their fall share-a-thon and to raise money for the station, and we got a little bit over by the end of the share-a-thon. We got a little bit over $152,000 out of a $200,000 goal, and anyway, during Share-a-thon yesterday, the well-known comedian Tim Lovelace joined us, and yesterday morning I got to hang out with Tim for a few hours, and we got to know him a bit, and great guy, and so that's why I got to hang out with yesterday, Tim Lovelace, and
So what funny did he tell you yesterday that had you in stitches? I'm sure there was something.
oh, he's a funny man. One thing he did was Rodney played that. You remember that old Gaither video where Lovelace was on it? The Fourth Man.
Yeah.
Rodney yesterday played The Fourth Man by the Anchorman, and Rodney turned on the microphone and let Tim be silly while the song was playing, and he acted goofy on that, so that was funny. And Tim made a few other jokes here and there, but yeah, he's a funny man, great guy. Love Tim Lovelace.
My good friend and sister in Christ, Kayla Lee, is watching right now.
Hey, Kayla, good to see you.
She is a mighty woman of God. I don't know what happened there, but you're back.
Glad I am.
But Shane DeFresney just popped in. Good to see you as well. Him and his wife are an avid watcher, and we appreciate them.
Good to see you, Shane.
You know, Nicholas, the greatest thing about Southern gospel music is not only the message, but once you hear that first song, it's just like, boom, it's an immediate love because you just can't get enough of it.
That's right. You got that right. Yes, sir.
And, you know, if there was ever a modern day group, for me personally, and then we'll go to you, I spent the day today listening to the Irwins. My goodness. I mean, the power of an empty tomb and some of the songs that they are doing, I just sit there and I'm like, oh my word, the anointing that is on them. So if there was a modern day group that you could choose that has really impacted you in some way, who would you say?
My favorite group out there today, City. They're my favorite out there today. They're just doing incredible right now, and they're great Christian guys, and they're just great. And so they're my they're my favorite out there singing today. And of course, our dear friend Jeff Chapman singing bass with them, and yeah, they're doing an incredible job right now. So Gold City's my favorite out there singing today.
So let me ask you this question. Um, is there a song that they do now that you have on repeat?
One that just came to my mind is they have fairly recently brought back the old song "Pray" that they did years ago. That was on the "Preparing the Way" album, I believe, many years ago, and they they brought that back, and I love to hear Jeff and all those guys do that song. So that's one they brought back that I love to hear them do.
So, Nicholas, it's been an honor talking to you, pal. Tell folks how they can listen to your segment on the radio on Wednesday mornings.
Man, it's been an honor, and I appreciate you letting me do this, buddy. And the way you can do this, as far as listening to me on the radio, I would say the best way is to go to the lifefm.com, and there's a tab on there called Network. That's the tab, and you can look on there and see what all the call letters are and all that stuff, and see if there's a station in your area. And if not, there's a listen tab on the website that you can listen there, and they have an app.
I was going to say, you can do like I do, just download the app and you can listen to Nicholas and you can listen to Rodney and Reagan. And man, they're all my favorites. So there ain't a DJ there at that station that doesn't know what they're doing. I promise you'll be blessed if you listen to the Life FM.
So that's 100% correct. And I would love for you folks to tune in to my segment about 8:45 or 8:50 a.m. Eastern time every Wednesday morning. But also, man, listen to Rodney and Reagan in the mornings, and they're on from 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. And there's a guy named Tom Rusk on there that does gospel tunes in the afternoon. That's his show. He's from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. I believe, and it's just a great station. So y'all tune in. We'd be much appreciative of that.
Nicholas, can you give that website one more time? You got people in the comments asking how they can listen.
Yeah, the lifefm.com. That's the website, and there's a tab on there called Networks. So go on that tab and find and see if there's a station in your area to listen to. And if there's not, then go to thelifefm.com, and there's a listen tab on there. So hit listen, and you can hear it there. Or there's a website as well, just entitled The Life FM. So you can go there and listen to it there too.
Well, buddy, it has been an honor. Thank you so much for being our guest tonight. I tell you, I love you, buddy, and I appreciate your love for gospel music and for the Lord, first of all. Let's just say that. I appreciate your heart for the Lord and then for gospel music. So thank you, my friend, for being a part of Magnify Ministries. I love you, buddy.
Man, it was an honor. Thank you so much for having me.
All right. You have a blessed evening.
Bye-bye.
All right.